So one of my finds at Warley was this Class 24. The price seemed right, so we grabbed it. So another of my Warley finds was this Bachmann Class 24. This Class 24 on its own, the recommended retail is about $179, and I think DCC Sound Fitted, it's about $268. So when I saw this one for $139.50, I grabbed it. Obviously don't really know what the problems may or may not be with it. It says excellent condition, detailing pack, very minor paint chipping. So, you know, we'll open it up and look and see, but the deal on it seemed to be almost too good to be true. I'm hoping it's going to work and that, you know, I don't have issues with it, but I did grab it. I do have a Class 24/1 Bachmann locomotive, but of course the 24 is slightly different, and just thought it would be fun to add to the collection, and the price seemed to be right, so let's open it up and see what we have going on here. So opening up the box, there's some info here, obviously the sort of standard info, head code disc info, DCC sound decoder fitting. This should be fitted with a sound decoder. And it looks like here we have the list of the functions and sounds, so we can look at those in a minute. So there's a whole slew of different information here. There's some CV values here that we can also look at as we work this through. So it looks like this should have an ESU DCC sound decoder in it. I suppose we'll find that out as we look here. So this is a looks like it's a Collectors Club edition, or maybe not, or maybe this is just suggesting that we sign up for the Collectors Club. That could well be it. So what else do we have here? Looks like there's a fair bit of parts here. Let's pull this out and look. Yeah, there's quite a lot of parts here. Head codes, lamps. Definitely looks to be some fittings and things, but this suggests that this is new because none of this stuff has even been opened or looked at, and obviously there's the blanking plate in here too. So maybe look at that at some point. Let's pull out the locomotive and have a look at it and see what's going on with the loco. Seems okay there. So not quite sure where the paint chipping is that it mentioned on the box. I don't really see it, but doesn't mean to say that it's not there. Okay, so somewhere on this there's supposed to be some paint chipping. Yeah, totally. We'll find it, I'm sure. It actually is very weighty. There's a lot of weight in this model. Don't know what it weighs, but it's heavy. Looks good. I mean, everything seems to be here. Looking at the roof, seeing if I can see any problems. I don't see a problem at this end. I don't see a problem on that side. I don't see a problem at that end. There's kind of a scuff mark here. I'm not quite sure where the problem with this this model is. Very nice detail in the cab. We look in the cab there. Okay, a tremendous amount of detail all the way along here. The BR emblem is nice. It's obviously got the partial yellow ends. Boxes underneath are good. The bogies have a tremendous amount of detail in them. This kind of looks good. Let's get it on the test track and see what the decoder does. So I'm going to use my power cab and see if I can program this. And well, let's just see what's going on here. Let's go to the programming track. And we'll do a standard program initially. Noticed it wasn't connected. Manufacturer. Decoder version. Let's do that. Set to 3. Yes. Long address on this we want to be 5038. So we put that address in, and let's just come out of here having done that and see what happens. There we go. Looks like it's working. Well, we're definitely working. Let's go through some of the decoder settings here. So let's have a run through in terms of the sound decoder and see what it does here. So let's kick off by starting it up. Looks to be about ready to go. Let's turn the power up. And here we are. We're running. Let's see what other functions we have here. So we should have a single horn, a double horn, set up the fan, F5 is a notch up, and then F6 is a notch down, not quite sure what that's at. F7 is for shunting speed. Let's try the F8, which is the locomotive cab lighting. I'm not sure if we have that or not. I don't see cab lighting here. I don't know that that's there. F9 is the buffer action. I'm thinking maybe I need to slow this down a bit. It's the buffer action. So we have locomotive directional lighting. Probably can't see that right now, but if I pull this around a little, let's turn that on. There we go, there's the front. So as we see here, we have lighting. Depending on, I change the direction. We go from white to red. And if we look at the other end, we'll see right now we have white, and I change the direction. We go to red, so the lighting is working. Cab lighting, I'm not so sure about. So according to this, cab lighting is F8. See what happens. No, I don't think there is any cab lighting in this locomotive because F8 is definitely not doing anything. We can try it the other way. Let's look at the other end and try hitting F8 again. No, I don't see any cab lighting. But it definitely sound fitted, and you know, I'm looking at this and thinking, definitely a bargain. Probably the decoder itself would cost close to what I paid for the whole locomotive fitted with the sound decoder. So let's just start this thing up again. So I suppose I need something to run behind this, and I picked up a whole series of Bachmann Wagons. Again, obviously just new old stock. I mean, a lot of the stuff still has this outer tissue paper on it. Paid anything between about 7 and I think 13 pounds. These particular wagons were 13 pounds. These are some of the 16-ton mineral wagons in the BR weathered gray. I get yelled at because I actually tore the tissue off this one to actually look at the wagon underneath, and was told that I had to buy it because I'd torn the tissue. I was going to buy it anyway, so it was no big deal. So we got quite a number of Bachmann 16-ton mineral wagons in both weathered gray and also in the BR bauxite. So I'll open them up. You've seen these before. I have a number of them on the layout, but I think this would be something good to put behind the Class 24. So just as an aside, earlier in the day I'd been looking to see if there were any of these wagons around, and I bought these at a different place, and I paid £23.50, which is still a reasonably good price because I think the retail on these are close to $30 a piece now. Sorry, £30 a piece now, which is it's getting up there for these wagons. So the $23.50 I thought was a deal until I found the others at $13. So I will admit my hope with these is not to duplicate too much the same wagon, particularly because the way that these are produced, it's tempo printing that actually puts the weathering on these wagons. However, the price they were at, and working on the principle it's going to sit in a long rake, and people are for the most part not going to notice the duplication. I did pick up 3 of the same wagons here. As you can see from the printing, they're pretty much identical. Of course, the numbers are identical too. But as I say, putting them into a long rake of wagons, I don't think anyone's really going to notice, apart from me knowing that they're duplicated. So at 13 pounds a piece, we will just live with it. So my 37425B here is a slope-sided steel mineral wagon, which is also weathered in the same way. So this one is at least different from the others, even if it did cost me £23.50. So as you can see, the slope-sided wagons are very similar in their makeup. Also use the tempo printing to do the rusting of the steel, but they will work quite happily with these wagons in the same rake, even if they are slightly different. Obviously the end doors are different between the two different wagons here, and they're basically the same apart from the slope sides on the other end, but they will look good. So let's see what else we got here to go with. So for the princely sum of 11 pounds each, I get 3 bauxite 16-ton steel wagons. These actually are all different. So we have 37426A, we have 37451, and we have 37451A. Because the only difference in these being pretty much the numbering. They're kind of slightly older, being Bachmann blue ribbon, but price also reflected that, and so these can sit in the same rake, although they probably could do to get a little bit of weathering to go together. So let's open these up and have a look at these. So as we look at these, we can see they're all 16-ton wagons. The door is slightly different on this one to these. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical. The end doors are not really any different on these. The major difference that we'll see here is that the markings are different and the numbering is different, but not really a lot else going on. They're a nice wagon. Bachmann have produced many of these in different numbers over the years, and if we actually look at the gray steel wagon, these two wagons are pretty much identical. Doors are identical. This one is just bauxite, this one is gray. The bauxite one should have vacuum braking on it. It actually doesn't. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't, but it should have. But otherwise, these should be pretty much the same. The story is that even though originally the bauxite ones were all vacuum braked, over time many of the gray wagons were repainted into bauxite, and the gray ones were not vacuum braked, so the bauxite ones never got vacuum brakes because they were just repainted gray. Who knows quite what Bachmann were thinking with these models. I've seen the bauxite ones from Bachmann with vacuum brakes. These ones we looked at before obviously are not vacuum braked because they were gray, and they were older wagon stock. So let's put all this stuff on the layout and run it and see how it does. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Class 24. Please like the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Button to the top right, another video to the top left. We will see you soon.